H&L presents the grand finale, part 29B, Maverick versus the Kitrurew Empire. Maverick had finally arrived at the golden throne room of the Lord of the Yellow Darkness, Ricardo Yellow, the famed fighter of the legendary fighters, the arbiter of the great power, and the beholder of all the powers of the first spin. Ricardo got up from his throne and walked up to Maverick and said, "Well, isn't this a pleasant surprise? The last and only offspring of Queen Alexa, and the last of the pure primes of the entire universe. Is it a pity that you would do all of this just to bring me down? But I don't save you the trouble. You submit to me now, and I promise you to send you off in a dimension you will not die directly, but you will live the rest of your days in exile." And Maverick said, "No, thank you. I'm here to stop you and end your evil and tyranny and free the universe from your rule. I forge a new way in the universe." And then Ricardo started to walk back, laughing. "So you desire power for yourself, Maverick? Like mother, like son?" Maverick said, "No. My desire is not to rule the universe, but to guide the universe. For one that is true and pure to rule it. Not I, but another." And then Ricardo got a word and hint by Joy and Dasa were defeated by Andrew LaFleur. And Ricardo Yellow turned back to Maverick and said, "Is it Andrew LaFleur? Is it Androsica that you fight for?" Maverick did not answer. And Ricardo said, "There is no need to answer. You have made your intent known. Now you will fall before the might of the greatest warrior this universe has ever seen." And then, using his quick lightning speed, he attacked Maverick head on. Maverick coughed up blood because he was unprepared for what the attack. And then suddenly Ricardo began to fight him and punched him at the speed of light. Blood and internal organs and bones were being crushed on Maverick as Ricardo was going dead fast. And then he kicked him far away, transporting him to another dimension of mountain ranges. And then he turned into a giant beast, where he started going to devour Maverick. But Maverick quickly picked up his spear and pulled on the mouth of the beast like Ricardo. And then he used his albino blast and utterly wounded the beast. Ricardo, shocked, but he was injured, returned to another portal to another dimension, this time to the newly called Stig Oop, and Maverick followed suit. And then Ricardo began to lose, the power of the elements and changed the weather. Hail, firestorms, ice, blizzards, and floods, and tornadoes consumed all of Stig Oop, and Maverick had to withstand all these as Ricardo was coming with him with the elements and with his fist. Maverick tried desperately to dodge these attacks, as he was well aware the mighty powers like Cyrus, Perfection, and Cajun Bean himself had full power with no match for Ricardo. Still, Maverick holds stubbornly to life. Ricardo was getting impatient. By this time, most powers and most people would be annihilated. How is this Maverick still staying alive? But Maverick still persevered. And then Ricardo used some more strength and started to warp time and space to make Maverick completely, the white Maverick, completely from the face of existence. And Maverick used his willpower and the powers of his mother and others and the primes to withstand this evil. Because the Demonic power was the power which the first spin had, and prime power was much greater than Demonic power. And the great power was only reached that of a prime. So Maverick, despite not being as strong as Ricardo, still was able to withstand many of his abilities Ricardo was starting to pick up on this. And they said, you know what, enough of this. And then he grabbed him and forced him back to his castle. And then Ricardo said, you begin to irritate me, Maverick Albino. Or I should say Maverick Alexa, or whatever the hell your name is. And then Maverick at this time was pretty beaten up and tired for facing many powerful opponents before Ricardo. Maverick laughed and said, as he was on his knees getting back up, you are indeed what you say you are, the strongest being in all the universe. If I was anyone else, I would have been dead. But my lineage, my birth, my existence was made for one solid purpose. And that purpose is destroying you, ending your darkness, and defeating hell itself. Although the demons were defeated by LaFleur, I would be the one to destroy the one that created them. Ricardo said, how did you know that I created most of those demons to make them a billion? And Maverick said, I know more about you than you know yourself. It is my job. And then Maverick then flew in to try to get a Ricardo. Ricardo was well aware what he was trying to do. And so he used his fast pace to dodge him. And then started to slam the ground to hit Maverick and to kill him with his fighting abilities. Maverick then tried to dodge these. And then he sat on Ricardo's chair and said, come and get me. Ricardo then sling his hard silver hair on the chair, destroying the throne, saying, you bastard, look what you cost me do. That was pure gold. And then Maverick began to do a twirl around on the air like that. And then he went to slam his weapon down. And then Ricardo pulled down the weapon like that. I was going to push him over. And then at that point, Maverick dropped his weapon, turned around, crouched in front of Ricardo, and touched him on his chest. Ricardo was stunned. You fool, you've already used up your power on the god of Kitrurew. What do you think I had? Like Queen Alexa, you could only do that power once. I won. And then Maverick said, no, unlike my mother, I have the same ability as her, but I could do it as much as I want. As for her, she could have only do it once, because she needed the power to withhold the first spin within her. As for me, I have no first spin or any evil inside of me. Ricardo was stunned. At this, he walked back in horror and tried to move fast pace. He tried to turn into fire, turn into anything, open dimensions. Nothing was working. He was mortal again. The same strength he had prior to Mankin Assurance taking him out. Ricardo was infuriated and said, my days, my godlike abilities are gone. Maverick, you bastard. No, as he pointed out to him angrily, despite my powers gone, I am the last surviving member of the legendary fighters, the only living champion, which proves that I am my prime, the strongest fighter this universe has ever seen, and I will kill you and retake my empire. Come and get it. And then Maverick now had done his duty, now had a defeat, and now enraged Ricardo, who was at his top form. And Maverick began to fight against Ricardo, who seemed to be even stronger at his base form than his godlike form, as Maverick could not take away these powers, but he had to muster everything within him to try to win this ultimate battle against the ultimate fighter. Still, the two were in grudge match, and Maverick lost his spear and had to fight Ricardo in hand-to-hand combat. The results were not good. Ricardo pummeled him with his hair, with his fists, his legs, with his knees, with his head, with everything. Maverick was rolling on the ground. And then Ricardo grabbed Maverick's leg and started to spin him round and round and round and round, throwing him over some pillars, breaking some pillars on Maverick. Some debris crashed on Maverick's back. Ricardo then picked up Maverick from the hair and started to punch his guts. And then he threw him back down. At this point, Maverick grabbed his spear again and started using that for defense. Maverick, seeing like everything was pointless, and seeing that despite it ending Ricardo's magic powers, Ricardo was still a threat, and seeing that death was near. Then suddenly, Christina appeared and started blasting Ricardo from behind. Ricardo said, "Another one?" This allowed Maverick to grab the secret elixir that was passed down from his mother to him and to drink it. After he drank that, he was at full strength once more. And then he said, "Thank you, Christina." And then he jumped and did a twirl and with his spear and hit Ricardo directly in the back of the head. Ricardo was stunned, where he get the strength from. And then Maverick threw down the elixir and said, "I got a power up. Now, Christina, step back. He's mine." Ricardo said, "You drink any potion you want. You can't beat me." And then the two began to duel. This time, Maverick was in equal footing, and he used his weapon to one-up Ricardo Yellow, who at this point now was starting to see the true power of Maverick and the purity. This did not deter Ricardo, however, but he used to turn to defend his empire to the last. And then, over time, Maverick began to get the one-up of Ricardo, hitting him in the head, the neck, his vital organs, his back, jumping in his head again, and knocked him in the face, and then do a side kick, knocking Ricardo down. And then he did his ultimate attack, Prime Albino Blast. And he painted a little bit of his mom's power in it as well. It was a direct hit to Ricardo. At that point, he started to walk back, twirling and dazed, as he called out, "Our host, Debbie, Capri, we've done it. The universe, it's finally ours. Our dream, despite the route that we went, has been achieved." As he collapsed and is now the ruins of his throne, Ricardo looked down, reached out his hand to the heavens, and asked, "Father of the heavens, forgive the sinner. Allow me to see my friends once more." And with that, Ricardo's hand dropped, and the last of the great fighters of old had passed away. Maverick and Christina had done it. The Kitrurew Empire was no more, and thus the last pure empire, which was strictly of that particular race, was over. Now only two sides remained, the side of the Insurance and the side of the Madoyan. Our final confrontation was soon to be at hand.